We're swingers, and we road trip to America's biggest non-monogamy convention in New Orleans. Started off the morning by loading up our car with all the stuff we were vending, and then of course we had to have snacks. Bella is a big snack girly. As you can see here, 7 minutes in the drive, we already had a snack. Stopped kind of in the middle of nowhere at this little gas station. They actually had some kind of cute western-y looking stuff in there, but we got our car all charged up, and then we kept driving. Of course, we hit more traffic. After around 9 hours of driving, we made it to the city that we were going to be staying in that night, and then we wanted to get Panera for dinner. We both were really wanting a bread bowl, so we got broccoli and cheddar soup in a bread bowl, and then we also shared this bacon chicken ranch sandwich. We headed over to our hotel and got all checked in, and then we actually went to Walmart so we could grab some snacks for Naughty Nawlins. We had seen this game on TikTok where you stuck your hand into movies and chose one out to watch that night. I got Blade Runner. Bella had really been wanting one of these mini Squishmallows to hang from her water bottle, and they actually rang up $1 instead of $5, so she ended up buying 5 of them. See you tomorrow for vlogs from America's biggest non-monogamy convention. We're swingers, and we went to America's largest non-monogamy convention, and you need to see our vendor booth and our room. We got our car all parked just a few minutes away from our hotel. We were staying at the Nopsy, which was one of the hotels, and we were walking over to the Astor. We needed to get registered so we could pick up our badges so that we could actually go around the convention. Here is Bella with our badge. We were so excited. She had already started a little bit earlier setting up our vendor booth. This is actually our first time we've ever had a vendor booth at an event before, and overall we think it turned out so good. Throughout the convention, we ended up not vending quite as much as we thought we were going to, just because in this area more people just giving out little things, but this was our first event, so we were just excited to have a vendor booth, and we did work it for a little bit. At that point, we walked back over to our hotel, which was the Nopsy, got all of our food and snacks packed away, got our luggages put away, and then also we made sure to put some food in the refrigerator so we had some snacks throughout the day. I had to put away all my swinger clothes. You know, you gotta have your wife on your shirt, the upside down pineapples, and then we wanted to give you a little bit of a room tour. Here is the bathroom, and then here is everything with the lights on. The lights make such a huge difference. Look, we got the upside down pineapple decoration. We had a multitude of voyeur chairs, and then another key, get a bed for you, and then, you know, a bed for group activities if you want to call it that. That's all I have time for in this video, so I will see you guys in the next part. We went to America's largest spicy couple convention, and they had a haunted theme night. Day 1, part 2 takes us to the top of the Nopsy Hotel. They had pool parties here every day. It was such a cool pool with such a cool view, just kind of overlooking New Orleans. They also had these nice little seating areas so you could kind of relax if you didn't want to be in the pool. It was shaded, which is really nice for someone with a skin tone like me who gets burnt easily. They also had some nice refreshing drinks next to the bar. After that, I wanted to use the foam roller, and then Bella did some jump roping, and she did some really spicy jump roping, and you know where to find that. After that, it was time for us to get a little bit of a meal, and so we really wanted some kind of New Orleans type food, so we found this restaurant called Mother's, and it did not disappoint. They had this very home style southern type cooking, and it was so good. We signed up for a complimentary cocktail making class that the hotel was hosting. We had a really nice time, got a drink, and then sat out on this little patio. We watched music videos of the Queen Chapel Roan while I made myself a little turkey sandwich, and then it was time to start getting ready for the haunted theme. I had these wings, which I was just obsessed with. One of my favorite things I've ever got to wear at a lifestyle event before. The hotel gave out these free little slippers, which I really enjoyed walking around the hotel room in, and then it was time to go over to the Astor, which is where the bigger parties were. They had free shuttles going between the hotels since it was about a 7-minute walk, and this one actually happened to be a party bus. We made it to the Astor, and then we went up to our friend's room to continue to hang out. We had an amazing time partying. Saw my boy DJ Life of Spice. That's really all I can share on here, so I'll see you guys in tomorrow's vlog. We're swingers, and we went to America's largest E&M convention, and they had a foam party on Bourbon Street. The morning of day 2 started off a little bit rainy, but look at this cute little JASE'S necklace that my friend made for me. We walked over to the other hotel. I really appreciate the architecture in New Orleans. I feel like it has that very European type feel, but we made it over to the Astor, which was a pretty quick walk, and thankfully it had stopped raining. Also, the Astor had these really cool art pieces. They had several of them, and I just really enjoyed them. We made it to our booth so that we could work for a couple hours, and I'm amazed by these square readers. I think it's so cool that you literally can tap a phone to a piece of plastic and make a transaction. I made myself a little turkey sandwich, and then Bella was really smart to keep these from our meal a couple days ago, so I was able to have some mayonnaise and mustard. I had some cheese crackers and the banana. I know, a very balanced meal. Mr. and Mrs. Life of Spice, as well as Dan and Lacey from the Swing Nation podcast, were coming over so that we could do a little bit of a collaboration, and Bella had made these gifts for them. We thoroughly enjoy giving people gifts, and then the girls did a little collaboration. You know where to find more of that, but we just made some content with everybody, and it was so fun just to see everybody catch up, up because we don't always get to see each other that often. Mr. and Mrs. Life of Spice had actually brought their dogs to the convention, and I think seeing them was truly one of Bella's favorite parts of the entire time. She's really an animal person, so she just loved that part. We went up to our hotel roof so we could go to the pool party before we walked down Bourbon Street to go to this really cool foam party that they had. They also had multiple of these private parties for people that are going to the convention every single day on Bourbon Street. The next vlog actually starts at a party, so make sure to stay tuned for that. We're in an open relationship, and we went to America's largest non-monogamy convention, and you need to see the visuals they had at the parties at night. The afternoon of day 2 actually starts at a Bourbon Street party. They had these every day, and they were so much fun. And then me and Bella wanted to get a little bit of food that we could save for the next couple of days and have meals all the time, so we stopped at Domino's. We got a jalapeno and ham, and then yes, we do put pineapples on our pizza, and yes, they're upside down. Our room was a nice temperature. We got all dressed up for the futuristic theme party, and I want to show you here is a small version of what one of the conference room looks like where they would do some of the classes. They also had this spread of food that would change up every single night. And then guys, look at this ballroom. Look how beautiful these visuals are. It is such a cool place for a party. We had such a fun time. This was at the Nopsey Hotel, which is where we're staying, and here is the actual little plate of food that we got. And then they also had these little booths out where people would leave some fun little swag. There was just so many cool little decorations and places like that. And then unfortunately it was raining really hard, but look how cute Bella looked in the rain. Also, she looked even spicier in the after party, so you know where to go to find that. We did end up getting a ride over so we didn't have to walk in the rain. And then look at these people's cool futuristic costumes. Also, look how cool this glow-in-the-dark trash can was. It was such a fun night of partying, but that's all I can share here, so I will see you guys in tomorrow's part. I'm going to take you inside a real-life swingers club. We went to America's largest non-monogamy convention, and it was such a good week. The morning of day 3 starts off by us doing a little walking tour. It was an industry tour, so it was just a bunch of people that were in the swinging lifestyle space. There was so many creators, club owners, all sorts of cool different things there. And then we made it to Colette, New Orleans. We've been to all the other Colettes before, but this was our first time at Colette, New Orleans. The club is really, really cool. It's broken up into 2 different sections. There's a downstairs section. Here's the DJ booth. And then there is also an upstairs section. The upstairs section, you walk up these stairs, and then it takes you to where all of the playrooms are. Here is some just individual beds. They have this really cool library section in this club, and they have all these nice decorations all over the walls. Here's me and Bella shining a light just so you can actually see us in there. We went back to our hotel, but we actually got to go up to the penthouse. This is where we were having one of the industry meetings. We said we just got to talk more, and it was so nice to meet so many people. It was a beautiful view, but the view of Bella was even that much better. We went into the bathroom, and guys, look at the size of the bathroom. I swear that this bathroom was almost the size of our room, and our room was huge. We had lunch up here, and overall it was just such a great morning, but that is all I have time for in this part of the video, so I will see you in the nighttime vlog of day 3. We went to America's largest E&M convention, and we got to walk in a sexual freedom parade and go to New Orleans' most famous swingers club. The afternoon of day 3 starts with Bella making us some signs so we actually had something to hold in the parade, but truthfully, in the last 10 years in the swinging lifestyle, I feel like this parade was one of my favorite moments that I have ever been a part of. It felt so nice to be in just such a huge group of open-minded people, and it just felt so freeing. The community felt so great to see people on the side of the roads also cheering, celebrating. It was such a special moment that I will treasure for the rest of my life. It was time to get ready for the nighttime party. We cannot show our outfits here, but you know where to go to find that. The visuals were insane once again, and then here is our little plate of food. We always like to fuel up before we went to the other party. We actually went to Colette, New Orleans this night, saw my boy DJ Life of Spice DJing. It was such a fun night. We left Colette, New Orleans so that we could actually go over to the other party at the Astor Hotel. Parties here truly never disappointed. The daytime parties, the nighttime parties, they were always so much fun. So many people, such a good energy. We actually ended up hanging out with this couple, going back and having a little after party, but that's all we can share on here. So I'll see you guys in the next one for the last day's vlogs. We're swingers. I'm going to take you through an entire floor of playrooms at America's largest non-monogamy convention. This truly was an entire floor of a hotel, so I'm not going to be able to show you all of the rooms, but all of the rooms had this really nice lighting. They had this nice music. This room was one of my favorites. It was a crystal room. I just thought it was so beautiful, so well put together. The lighting was immaculate, so probably my favorite room out of all of them. They had a dark room, which, I mean, you can see how dark it is. You could see absolutely nothing in there. There was this other room, which there was some stuff going on the other side, which I cannot show. And then they also had water, which is so good to be able to rehydrate. They had these little IVs if you needed that, if you maybe didn't feel the best. And then we went back over to our booth so we could work for a little bit. We headed over to Bourbon Street, which was really close so that we could go to one of the next parties. We actually stopped at this little jazz bar along the way, which was pretty cool. We went to Boot Scoot and Rodeo. The Swing Nation podcast was hosting a party here, so we just went, had a nice little time. Here's Bella riding this bull. Look how short her little legs are. She can't even reach down there. We played some Pong, which honestly I'm just so much worse than I actually used to be at. And then we went to see our favorite DJ. And then you should have seen Bella's other request. It was honestly even more exciting than this one. Here's Bella up on stage just having a nice little time hula hooping. And then they had a mechanical bull upstairs. She didn't want to ride it, but she did want to get on so she could just take a cute little picture. So she jumped up there. She got some beads after that. We really wanted to eat here, but unfortunately they were cash only. We did not have any cash, so we were a little bit disappointed. But that's all I have time for, so I will see you guys in the final part of this series. We're an E&M couple, and we went to America's largest spicy couple convention. I'm going to show you what the nighttime parties looked like. The last part in this series starts off by us getting a little bit of New Orleans lunch. We had really wanted to get a few more New Orleans foods, so we wanted to get them before we left. We got these boudin balls, which were actually really good, a catfish po' boy, which is a classic, and then Bella really wanted some beignets, so we got some of those as well. Headed over to a podcaster meet and greet, and then it was time to take our actual booth down. We had such a nice time vending, even though we didn't do that much of it. We headed back over to our hotel so we could get ready for one last nighttime party. It was a Mardi Gras type theme, which is just so fitting for New Orleans, so we got ready for that. We started off the partying at the Nopsy Hotel, which is kind of more of a chill vibe, but super fun as well. Got a little bit of food, listened to the DJ, and then it was time to head over to the Astor, where the parties were a little bit busier, a little bit more party-ish, if you want to call it that. They were set up really cool, where you kind of had a couple different parties. You had the main room, which just played kind of different types of music, and then you also had an EDM room, which specifically played EDM music, so you could kind of choose whatever you wanted. They also had these really cool dancers in the EDM room, but you can tell it was just super busy. The vibe was awesome, and the parties were always so much fun. That's all I can really share on here, but overall, it was just such a fun week. The parties were amazing, the people were amazing, and I cannot more highly recommend Naughty Nawlins. Had a little bit of pizza to end the night, and it was the perfect way to end a wonderful week.
I went to America's biggest non-monogamy convention, and just wait until you see our hotel room. This event is called Naughty Nawlins in New Orleans, Louisiana, and for the beginning of day one, I set up our vending booth as soon as we got there. We got registered and got our badges, which we needed to get into any part of the hotel and party since it was a private event. They did include daytime themes this year, which was fun. Here is how our booth turned out. All of the items were designed and handmade by my husband and me, and we were so proud of it. We were super surprised to see how huge our room at the Nopsy Hotel was, so here I am taking you on a little tour. Surprisingly, with so much space, there wasn't that many places to store things though. But a pro tip, if you're at a swingers event, get 2 beds, one for sleeping and the other for spicy friendly activities, if you catch my drift. We had a nice view of the city from our room, and of course we had to spice up our room with upside down pineapples and lights. This is the key to making it a vibe, and you can see how different it looks just with those few additions. And then we checked out the rooftop pool before the day parties got started. The pool and view was so pretty, and make sure to check out my other page for more behind the scenes. They had this yummy infused water a lot of places at the hotel, and then we checked out the gym to show off my jump rope skills and my platform Crocs, and I'll see you back here for the night portion of day one. Night one of going to America's biggest open relationship convention, and you're going to love my theme night outfit. After we left the rooftop party, we went and walked to get some traditional New Orleans food. We saw this restaurant called Mother's that had good ratings, and the food definitely did not disappoint. We got a combination platter of crawfish etouffee, jambalaya, red beans and rice, potato salad, and cheese grits. It was incredibly flavorful and delicious. I definitely left feeling extremely full. We took a complimentary cocktail class that our hotel held and learned about the history of the Nopsy and some cool facts about the building, and it also included a tasting, and holy moly, it was so strong before it all got mixed together. I was taken aback. The bartender taught us how to make, I believe, a variation of a sidecar, and it was super yummy. It kind of tasted like a sophisticated mimosa. We enjoyed our drink on the patio before I went and got ready for the night theme, which was Haunted Naughty, and I went for a demon kind of thing that starts with an S, if you know where I'm going with that. And I made my necklace, this heart one, the day before, and I made it out of polymer clay. And here is what Jace was wearing. He had a harness and wings. We pre-gamed in our friend's room, and one of them made us name necklace. It was so freaking cute and sweet. Our friend DJ Life of Spice was playing at the main hotel party, and we danced all night. And they also had a little charcuterie snacks, which is a blessing because we were so hungry. That's all I can show here, and see you tomorrow for day 2. I collabed with my swinger friends at the biggest non-monogamy convention in America. Day 2 of Naughty Nawlins started off with a walk to the main hotel called Astor, where we spent a little time at our vendor booth before we went back to do a fun little collaboration with my fellow swinging lifestyle advocate creator friends Life of Spice and Lacey from the Swing Nation podcast. I made them a little gift bag with some handmade items from our shop, including these custom pasties of their husbands. All the husbands hung out with each other while the ladies did our thing, and you know where to go for that. And then I gave the girls their little gifts, which was so fun to see their reaction, especially to the pasties. One of the biggest highlights of the event for me was next, which was meeting Life of Spice's doggies. They were literally the sweetest things ever, and I didn't want to leave. And check out Mrs. Life of Spice being nail twins with my husband. We walked down Bourbon Street to one of the bar party takeovers, which was a foam party, and we just caught the end of it, and then we hopped over to another private party where an amazing band was playing live music, and it was super busy and fun. We then picked up some super fancy food at this place. I don't know if you've ever heard of it before. It's called Domino's. We brought the pizza back to our hotel room to eat dinner while we watched Josh cook on Mythical Kitchen, and I had an apple for dessert because, you know, balance. And see you in the next video for night 2. I'm a swinger and walked in a sexual freedom parade at the biggest non-monogamy convention in the US. Day 3 started off with trying for the 3rd time to get Sabrina Carpenter tickets. Even though I was only 155th in line, I did not get any tickets. I even have her iconic boots for good luck, and it let me down. We walked over to the Astor to go to an industry meeting and tour, and we ran into Bob, who is the owner of Naughty Events. We freaking love him. He's literally such an amazing person. We walked a couple blocks around New Orleans, and Bob showed us around, and he gave us kind of the background and the history of Naughty Nawlins, which is the event. We stopped by Colette, New Orleans, which is a swingers club, and this is the last Colette location that we have not been to, and so it was awesome going there. Again, learning the history of everything. That was John, the owner. We walked around and saw some of the playrooms over here. This is one of the rooms where you can like look inside from the outside, if you catch my drift. There was a theater room, and we ended up at the penthouse at the Nopsy, and there was some nice refreshing foods and snacks for us, and the penthouse room was literally so nice. And we finished up the industry tour and meeting there. It was really awesome being surrounded by so many people who have so much experience and knowledge about the industry, and we had so many good snacks. I ate so much shrimp. And then it was almost time for the Sexual Freedom Parade. It was literally so sweet. They had all of these markers and poster boards that you could write and make your own posters and stuff for the parade. You could even make name necklaces there. Come back for the next part to see more of the parade and the nighttime party. Showing you the Freedom Parade held on night 3 of the biggest open relationship convention in the US. This is the 26th year of Naughty Nawlins, and they do a parade like this every year. The parade is a vibrant celebration advocating for rights and acceptance of diverse and alternative relationship structures, and a way to bring our community together and to show others that we're proud of who we are and how we choose to love. We ran into Bob, who is the owner and creator of Naughty Nawlins event, and he's such an angel of a person, and he's the reason why we're all gathered and celebrating together here. The theme that night was Pineapple Pride, rightfully so, with the parade that went on earlier, but I can't show my outfit at all on this platform here because it is far too spicy, so you know where to go to see that. We stopped at the Nopsy Hotel first to go to the first party there, and then we moved over to Colette, New Orleans, which DJ Life of Spice was playing there, and they were doing an 80s 90s battle. And then we went to a third party, which was at the Astor Hotel. There were lots and lots of parties that you could go to. We ended up hitting it off with a couple that we met the day before. The shuttle driver was playing Fall Out Boy, so we sang that all the way back to our hotel, where we had a fun and spicy after party with our new couple friend. And I'll see you in the next video for day 4. There were so many playrooms at America's biggest open relationship convention, so come along with me for day 4 of Naughty Nawlins. We walked from the secondary hotel to the main hotel to go work our booth for the last day before we kind of put everything away. We tried to go to one of the scavenger hunts, but we actually missed it, and they had these IVs, which were really cool. We got a private tour of some of the playrooms before they opened, and here is one of the more popular rooms. There was an awesome, beautiful crystal room that was gorgeous. I haven't actually seen one like this before. Super unique. There was also other ones where it was completely dark, super interesting. And then this one, the lights were on. Usually they were, of course, more dim, but it was kind of more of a viewing. area for things. We started going on another walk so we could go to the Boot Scootin' Rodeo. Dan and Lacey from the Swing Nation podcast were hosting an event there, and it was a really cool space. They had a bunch of different games. We played beer pong, and I got one in. I got really, really excited. There was a huge dance floor, lots of space for line dancing. Unfortunately, nobody was line dancing. I wish they did. I wanted to learn. Danced on the stage, did some other stuff on the stage that you can find on my other page. There was a mechanical bull. It wasn't the first time I've ridden a bull, but I didn't know how to get on, and so they told me to do a running jump start, and then I was able to get on. We were so excited to try this po' boy plays, and then it was cash only, and we didn't have cash. And come back for night 4. We're swingers and went to America's biggest non-monogamy convention. This is night 4, an event called Naughty Nawlins. We wanted to try this po' boy place, but it was cash only, so we ended up having to find another place. And this restaurant ended up being so cute. We had catfish po' boy, a boudin, and we're in New Orleans, so of course we had to get beignets. These were better than the Cafe du Monde ones, super fluffy. And then I had a food coma, super tired. There was a podcaster meet and greet, and we went there for a little bit. If you guys didn't know, we also have a podcast where we talk more about our stories in detail. It's a lot spicier over there on the audio podcast, so if you know, you know. The night theme was Mardi Gras Masquerade, which they do every single year on a Saturday. I made my little crown. I was going for a tacky but cute, kind of like Chapel Roan type vibe. We stopped by the first party at the Nopsy. Literally every time we come here, it like blows me away with all the visuals on the wall. You just don't really see that at lifestyle events very often. We got a little plate of food to fuel up before we went to the other party at the Astor. Usually the last day of events like these are pretty relaxed, but it was really busy at this event on the last day, which was really fun. They had all of these different entertainers and dancers around. There was a peep show that you could look in the keyhole and see a little surprise in there. There was another party at the Astor at the EDM room. We chilled there for a bit. I made all of these spicy candy bracelets, and this is how I like to give them. It's kind of like a plur, but swinger version. This was so cute. My friend came up with the Dom Sub magnet bracelets, and it's my favorite gift to give out. Their reactions are always the absolute best. What's a Mardi Gras party without a bunch of beads? And that's a wrap for Naughty Nawlins 2020.
Come along with me for night 2 of a spicy open relationship convention.
The night theme was out of this world, and I went with a Y2K-ish space princess type vibe, and here is me and my husband. I thought my outfit was so cute here, especially with the Sabrina Carpenter type boots. And we went down to the Nopsy Hotel to check out the party before we went over to the main hotel at the Astor. And they had all of this really good food too. The party at the Nopsy had such cool visuals, and the ballroom was actually way cooler and nicer than the Astor. There just weren't as many people there, but the music was awesome. We had fun dancing together, and we ate a little bit of food and got some fuel. Unfortunately, it was raining a ton, but actually a couple asked if we wanted to go in their taxi with them, and they ended up being listeners of the podcast, and they've watched our videos and stuff before, which was so fun. So shout out and thank you to you guys. Here's just me vibing at the party, and you know where to go for more behind the scenes of that. I feel like I look like a meme in those glasses, and here is me partying with Life of Spice. Her husband was DJing, and then we went and checked out all of the playrooms, and there were a lot of playrooms. This was only 3 of them. I think there was like 10 or something. And then Jace found me food. I wanted fruit so bad, and he was like an angel and just showed up with fruit. It was incredible. We took a shuttle they had back to our hotel, and my feet were hurting so bad, but I'm super ticklish. And so Jace wanted to give me a massage, and we ended the night here.